welcome to this guide and tutorial for the golden shot. Difficulty level is hard and I'm going to give you 7 shots, whereof 3 of the shots is on hole-in-one with different type of wind. Hopefully you're going to enjoy it, and before we start, don't forget to subscribe to the channel and also visit golfclashtommy.com for more Golf Clash related content. You can get our packages at patreon.com/golfclashtommy, where we do have tournament guides, tour play guides, training sessions and website access. We do have a ton. Check it out and see if you do find something for yourself. So let's take a look which one we're going to play, and that's the Nordic Fjords hole number, what was it? Hole number 4 from the last tournament is also hole number 2 in the regular tour play of the Nordic Fjords. Here we might just celebrate and say yay, but the fact is, from front tee there is a lot of glitchy spot, and spent close to 100 shots to provide this guide for you all, and therefore we're gonna see 2 type of different landing spots, which I'm gonna go into in just a bit. When it comes to the golden shot hard, you can win berserker balls, and when it comes to tournaments these days, we are using a berserker ball here and there to maximize either getting to green on a short par 4, or we are trying to gain a lot of distance when it comes to a par 5. It can also be that we're trying to get into wedge or short iron range instead of being in long iron or wood club by using a berserker. So this type of ball that you can win here is very, very important to have a certain amount of in your bag. You can win the obsidian chest for the hole-in-one. We do have the amber chest for the yellow ring. Then we do have the crimson chest for the red ring. We do have the aqua chest for the light blue ring, and cobalt chest for the dark blue ring. Those of you that haven't unlocked Apocalypse, this is a massive chance for you to do so, because unlocking the Apocalypse is very common in the golden shot for some reason. We're gonna take a look at the different landing positions here, and before we're gonna do that, we're gonna look above. We have a wood club, golden wood club, maximum distance plus 15 every single time, and that's 1.79 per ring for those that do want to do your math in your head. But that's the adjustment we're gonna do whether we have tailwind, crosswind or headwind, even though we have different type of spots. You can also see the VPR table on the right hand side, where you see the wind in the left column, the rings on the right side column, and as it is wind from 5 to 8 miles per hour, I made it with 2 decimal separation up to 7 miles per hour, but you can just see that it follows a structure, so you can just follow it there. You can also find it in the text guide as well, which we're gonna go over in the end of the video. So let's take a look at the landing position in tailwind and crosswind. Tailwind and crosswind, we're gonna look for 3 things. Blue ring to the rough on the right, you can see it's just flush there. Then the top of the blue ring by the fringe at the +2 yard mark, okay? Only in tailwind and crosswind, because in headwind we're gonna go in between clubs. So that is not something that we do want to do. We do not need to, we don't care about if we add spin first or we add spin after, because the position is still going to be the same. So just ignore the ball guideline, then follow the spin that is suggested in the guide. If we do have a headwind, then we're going to play like this. We're gonna go with the white ring to the top right by the rock, with the blue ring by the rough to the left, and then the second bounce is going to be just inside the dark green square row, that is approximately 1 green square from the right to the right side of the pin, and that is before spin. So make sure that you don't add spin until you have found this position. And obviously when we don't have the +2 yard mark and you know the blue rings as in tailwind, this is a bit trickier situation to find, when it's a trickier landing position to find. You can also have in mind that when it comes to tailwind, headwind and crosswind especially, I would say crosswind angle is the worst for this golden shot, because there is plenty of glitchy spots, and crosswind is unfortunately a way where we are going to have to be very, very detailed with our adjustment, otherwise there is a risk for us to catch the glitch. The best wind to get is tailwind, and then after that headwind works really well as well. It's just crosswind that is a bit crap. So now we are going to take a look at the video here, and I'm gonna give you 7 shots. and I'm going to give you from the start. Obviously, we're gonna talk through it all, and then afterwards we're going to summarize with the text guide. So let's start with shot number 1. Here we do have a minor, headwind with crosswind. This I would consider to be the worst type of wind, because now we're gonna do some shot like that is in between. But we start with blue ring by the rough line, white ring by the rock there to the right, and we're looking at the second bounce on the ball guideline as well. Here I'm using only side spin. I'm using 0.8. Oh my god, my Swinglish day. 0.8 is what I'm using. Here you can also see that for a 7.4 I adjusted only 3.9. That's because I started with a 10% elevation, and I in the end though made a change to 15%. So even if we miss right here with this type of shot, we are not gonna play only 3.9 for 7.4. We're gonna play 4.1, but we're gonna then reduce the side spin. We do get the red ring though in the end, and it kind of landed in there. Berserker balls, of course. And we go to shot number 2. Headwind and crosswind coming left to right, but more headwind than we do have crosswind. This is a decent wind. This is a wind that we do enjoy. But once again, we are going to take a look at the position, which is a bit difficult. Blue ring by the rough to the left, white ring by the rocks. And now I'm using a little click of topspin, which is a 0.2 bars, and then I'm using 0.8 side spin to the left. 7 rings with 15% elevation should be 3.9. We adjust the 3.9, and then it's time to take our shot. Perfect ball. And we can see that this ball come in here, and we are looking at this one as it would miss to the right a little bit though, but it gets so close. Good speed, perfect speed I would have to say, but we do need that one left spin bar to help us there to go more left. So only with 0.8 left spin, we did miss that one to the right. Apocalypse cards, even though we don't need it, but there you can see, you're gonna see more drops of the Apocalypse here. So we go to the next one, which that was the same. So we're gonna scrap that one and gonna go to the 6.3 headwind and crosswind angle here. And we do have blue ring by the bunker once again, by the rough, and then white ring by the rocks. Second bounce inside that dark green square row is what we're looking for. Then we're gonna apply 0.2 top spin, and I want 1 bar of left spin there. Adjustment 6.3 gives us a 3.4 rings. 3.4 rings is the plan, and then it's time to take our shot. Perfect ball. And now we're gonna see where this one is gonna come in. It bounces very nicely, but we do slow down. We come in a little bit short here though, but we are getting there. So a little bit short. We do need to be a little bit more. It felt like we were a bit too low with our top spin level there, ladies and gentlemen. That was at least what I felt. So in the end, we're gonna go to the next shot, which is going to be one with tailwind. And we're gonna take a look at that tailwind shot right now. And that tailwind shot is gonna be with 7.8. That's a very high wind. But have in mind now, we start on a different position in tailwind. Blue ring by the rough to the right, and the top of the blue by the fringe. Now I'm using 4 bars of backspin in straight tailwind here. No side spin whatsoever. 7.8 gives us 4.3 rings. We adjust the 4.3, obviously very important to be centered into the adjustment ring. We do hit a perfect ball. Bounces very nicely. We are trying to catch that downhill slope, but even in tailwind here, like in direct tailwind, we need to reduce the backspin a little bit and play with only 3.8. We're gonna get into that in the end, especially when we summarize with the text guide. So 4 backspin, a little bit too much, even though we do have a dead-on straight tailwind. We are looking to catch the slight downhill slope that is there. Now we do have a little bit lower wind, but also wind coming a little bit right to left. And we have 3 shots to go. 3.8 backspin. I'm also using a little bit of left spin here. Also 0.2 left spin. 5.6 gives us a 3.1 rings. So 3.8 backspin. And we then do have 0.2 left spin, and then we adjust, we take our shot, perfect ball, and then we're gonna see what happens. Ball bounces very nicely in that downhill slope, and then it slows down and it rolls very nicely right at pin for a beautiful hole-in-one here at the start. And here you can see the reason why we start this, the reason we start this high upwind tailwind is to get the ball to slow down, because if we back up and use and in tailwind, we're gonna see ourselves having that glitch and the ball is going to fly massively. Again, apocalypse cards in the golden shot, it's definitely pretty common when it comes to the golden shot. Now we do have a crosswind with a little headwind, but I do decide to play all the crosswinds as I would be having a tailwind. So tailwind, crosswind at the same position with the blue ring by the rough, blue ring by the fringe. Adjust 4.4 rings, but now we go into overpower, so I'm gonna add just a click overpower, but also a click of curl to the right. And the reason I add the click of curl is because we adjust into overpower, which means that we are intended to hit a landing spot further up than what we are intending to do, and therefore we do need to adapt a little curl, or we could just add a decimal more. I would recommend to go with that little click of curl though, and obviously adapt overpower based on if we adjust into it or not. It's not ultimate, obviously a beautiful hole-in-one, but you know, it's not really what we're looking for to use in the golden shot. But I wanted to get it in there so you can see that is possible in crosswind as well. Headwind and crosswind coming left to right, southeast angle. Now looking for the spots that we talked about before. Blue ring by the rough to the left, white ring to the right by the rocks, and then the second bounce into that dark green square row. One left spin is what I'm using because I do feel that this is a low wind. We also have a decent amount of crosswind together with the headwind. It's not really a headwind heavy angle in my opinion. Adjustment is going to be 3 rings, and we then take our shot. The ball bounces very nicely. We love when this camera angle with this camera turns around and we get it to snuck in on the left side of the cup. Lovely to end up with 3 hole-in-ones, different type of wind, one with tailwind, one with crosswind, one with headwind. But have in mind once again that there is a glitched spot when it is crosswind that is unfortunately there. We can't do anything about it, and I've done my best to get around it, which is going to at least minimize the risk of it massively. Let's take a look at the text guide and have in mind that now for the next couple of golden shots, due to work related errands, we are going to have our own version at the start that we have compiled, and then we're going to change that out to the version that Tony does with the same type of format. We have tried to, copy that to have it in the same way that everyone are used for. So have in mind, it's still the same type of information, it's just going to be a slight different layout when it comes to colors and stuff like that. So in the end though, and you will be able to find this text guide on the website. You will also be able to find it in the link in the description down below, and also in the community. So let's take a look at the top left, which we do have landing position, tailwind and crosswind. It also applies with the red column when it comes to the spin. We're gonna get there in a bit. Start at +2, top of blue ring by fringe, right side of blue ring by the rough. We go down to headwind and crosswind. Sorry, headwind and only headwind, not crosswind. Headwind, white ring to the right by the rock, blue ring to the left by the rough. Second bounce just into the dark green square row, being 1 green square right off pin, and before you're adding spin. Okay, so before you add spin is when you find that position. Wood club max +15, 1.79 per ring. Use the VPR table on the right hand side. So let's start with tailwind and crosswind. That is a red box of the spin, and we're gonna start with direct tailwinds, 3.8 backspin, 0.2 left spin. If we do have a wind coming left to right, so a northeast, we then do have a 3.8 backspin, 0.8 left spin. If the wind comes right to left and northwest, 3.8 backspin and 0.8 right spin. Have in mind when it comes to the side spin there, you need to adapt the side spin depending on if you have like a complete northeast or northwest wind, or it's more crosswind or it's more tailwind. So you need to adapt and reduce and add a little bit when it comes to the side spin depending on what type of angle you're having. So even though, you know, these are spot on for those type of winds, we're never gonna have 100% spot on according to the arrows here on the guide all the time. If we do have a wind coming left to right, we do have 3.8 backspin and 1.9 left spin. So a lot more left spin in that case to compensate for the wind. If we do have a wind coming right to left with 3.8 backspin and 1.9 right side spin, we're not really making any difference there more than we just changing the side spin direction. If we do have a headwind, we go up to the green column or a green box there. When we do have a headwind coming left to right, 0.2 topspin, 1 bar of left spin. If we do have a wind coming right to left, we're gonna have 0.2 topspin but 0.2 bars left spin. That's because we are already aiming on the right side of the hole, and that's why we do need left spin even with wind coming right to left. Headwind, we do have half a bar of it says backspin, but it's gonna be topspin. So the text guide that you do have below, it's gonna have topspin, okay? So it's gonna be half a bar of topspin, 0.8 bars of left spin, and obviously the text guide will be corrected in the description down below and also on the website. So there you do have the text guide for the golden shot to start with, and make sure you go over to T-Dog's channel and subscribe. Please do, and also subscribe here to the channel as well. In the end though, let me know how it goes. Please let me know how it goes. Did you get the hole in one? What did happen? If you do have anything that happens that you want to ask, then you can always do that in the comment section below or support@golfclashtommy.com. Don't forget to hit thumbs up as well. It would be awesome to get this video to 200 thumbs up. That would make me very, very happy. Thank you so much for watching the video, and a massive good luck in the golden shot.